What it do, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new or you're not familiar with my channel, this is the finance channel. My name is Tay Jones. Talking finances up here and how to get better with my money, and by me sharing it, hopefully helps you get better with your money. So this video, I'm gonna be talking about what I am doing to save 20K in a year. Now, I'm saving 20K in a year, but I'm also paying off debt. I have roughly $8,000 worth of debt. So at the end of the year, about $12,000 is going to show in my bank account. But even just having $10,000, like at least $10,000, is just gonna be a huge boost for me and a huge, like, motivation to me to keep going, and also being, debt free when at the end of the year. So if you want to be in that position in a year and not have to go through the same thing you're going through right now in a year, stay tuned, write some things down, and take action. So let's get into the video. Now, first thing I'm doing is I'm DoorDashing. And I would DoorDash and Instacart, but Instacart deactivated me for pretty much no reason. And it's hard to get reactivation on there. So I'm just doing DoorDash. I made some sacrifices where I'm able to make the same money doing DoorDash as I would if I did DoorDash and Instacart at the same time. But if you can do DoorDash and Instacart at the same time, I would recommend doing that, because you can make a lot of money per hour, more money per hour than you would just doing one of those apps. So yeah, I'm doing this full time. I wake up at 7. Well, I wake up at like 6. I try to get like a stretch in and do some push-ups and take a shower, and then go out by 7. And I go from like 7 to a good day is coming back in at 7 in the evening, but sometimes I'll be out till 8, 9. I try to get $200. That's my goal. So $200 every day. 40 of that, I put $40 in gas every day. And I'm trying to budget, and this is also, good that I'm making these videos, because it's like real time. Like I'm not saying that I got everything figured out and that I'm doing, everything right. But I know that I would change some things and be on my way to doing everything right, just taking it one step at a time. So I'm trying to budget. Next time I go grocery shopping, I'm gonna grocery shop, and that's when I'm gonna kind of like just definitely stop eating out, because I eat out about 2-3 times, and it's about $10 each. So it's like $20-$30 every day that I could be saving if I just, pack some sandwiches and, some fruit and water and stuff like that. But yeah, that's how I'm actually making my money. And like I said, I'm making about $200 a day. So that's like between $1,200 and $1,400 a week. And if you subtract if you take, say, $1,300 and spending $40 every day on gas, times 7 is $280. Spending $30 on food, which we should lower, but times 7 is $210. So $210, and I said $40 on gas, $280 plus $210, that's about $490. So $1,300 minus $500 is about $800 profit that I'm making a week. Times 4, that's about $3,200. And this is why it's so important to budget, because say that I went shopping, right, or for $50 for the week. So $50 for the week divided by 7 would be $7 a day in food on average. And say $7 a day on food. So say now I'm making that $1,300, right? Well, $7 a day on food times 7 equals 49, so $50 for the week. So say I'm making that $1,300, right? And I subtract gas, which is like $280. Okay, so that's $10.20, and then I subtract $50. Now I'm making $970. Now I'm making about $170 more if I budget. This is why it's so important to budget and track your expenses. I tracked my expenses, so I seen what I was spending money on, and I said, how can I get better at that? Can I get better at that? If I budget, if I spend $50 a week on food, then I'll save $170 on average. So you go from making around $800 profit to $970, and that adds up over a month. Over a month, I'm making almost $4,000 instead of making closer to the $3,000 level. So that's why it's just so important to budget And that's just with anything, you know. That's not even like with my job. That's like with anything. And that's why I say, if somebody asks me how can I save 10,000 in a year, like, you don't even have to do anything extra half the time. Like, most times you just have to budget and track your expenses. If you're able to budget, if you're able to live below your means, you can save the money with what you are making. You don't even have to get a side hustle, but it is still good to get a side hustle so you can, you know, definitely make that money. But see, I do DoorDash, and after every day, after the money goes into my bank account, I put $55 to the side. That's how I'm making $20,000 a year. I'm saving $55 and I'm putting it in my savings, and that's how I'm able to pay off my debt. It's been about 3 months since I've been doing this, and I've already paid off like not half of my debt, but I already paid off, I'll say, a third of my debt. Like, I'm close to paying half of my debt off, you know. And it's not even by choice. Like, a lot of these bills are saying, hey, this is due. And I know a lot of people probably have this in their mail. Like, they get mail and it says, hey, this is due by, you know, so and so next month. This is due by so and so next month. You're like, bro, how am I supposed to pay that? You know, how am I supposed to pay that? If you budget and track your expenses and you start saving, you will be able to pay that. But we got an order for DoorDash, so I'm gonna go there right now. But it's going to help you pay off debt a lot faster. I want to save my money and then pay off my debt. Like, I want to actually see 5,000 in my bank account and then like pay it off. But just the way it's going, it's like I'm saving up a couple thousand and then I gotta spend that, you know, on you know, a bill. I'm saving up a couple thousand, spend that. Save up 1,000, spend that. You know, I gotta save up like 1,000 right now to spend on toes, on tunnel toes that have been piling up. You see what I'm saying? So I gotta save up 1,000 for that, you know. But I will be able to do it though. You know, I had a car inspection. It cost me $1,400 to do. About half a year ago, about 6 months ago, when I had a car inspection, it cost me like $1,100 to fix, and I couldn't fix it. My brakes was messed up, and I had to end up like getting credit cards through the car shop to help me pay for it. But a couple months later, you know, me learning how to save, that next time that I got a car inspection, I had like $1,900 in my savings, and it cost like $1,400, so I was able to pay for it, you know. So I had that, and then I had like some fees, like from some tickets that I had to pay for. I paid that, you know, and now I'm paying for these tolls, and I still have more to pay for it, but I know that it will be paid off, and I know that it will be paid off on time, you know. So that's very important. Just learning how to save, it helps with paying off debt. Also, another way how I'm saving 20K this year is I'm getting help with rent. Now, my mom, I got a crib on my own when I was like 19, 20 years old, and my mom moved in with me because she had cancer. So just to keep down on her expenses, she wanted to, you know, move in with me. And I was paying rent, and then after a while, she started paying rent, and then after a while, we started splitting rent. But now she's paying the majority of the rent, so I only pay about $250 a month for the rent for this year. And she has allowed me to do that because she knows what I'm doing. She knows my plan and my end goal. It's only for this year, but that's so major. But I know a lot of people, when I say, oh, I don't live with my mom, or, you know, but if you're single, or even if you're not single, like if you don't have kids or anything, and you can get, you know, roommates. So I would say lower your expenses. If you don't want to lower your rent, lower something else, you know, like, you know, lower something else. But I'm just saying what helped me out, or what's going to help me out to get 20,000 this year, is getting help with rent. So if you can get help with rent anyway, if you can sacrifice a year, then, you know, you can change your life later on down the line. And it's very important to budget. I just showed you the impact of budgeting and how much that can change, you know, how much you take in a month. So that's very important. If you don't learn anything from that, then, you know, I don't know, you know, what else I can do, because sometimes that's all you need to do to, you feel me, to like save. You don't even need a side hustle. So next thing that I would say is plan ahead and find motivation. So what I mean by plan ahead is find out what are you doing it for? Are you doing it to start a business? Are you doing it to invest into something? Are you doing it to have things for your kids? If you have kids, I would say plan ahead. Me, I have plans, and that's my motivation, because I want my plans to go through, because I want to be financially free, and I want to not have to work anymore. So my goal is to get an FHA loan and put it down on a 2 to 4 unit, so a duplex, triplex, or a fourplex, and rent out the other units so that I don't have to pay rent, and that I can have some cash flow. And then you have to live in it for a year. If you get an FHA loan for at least a year, you're required to live in it. So after I live in it for a year, then to do that again, and then get cash flow on the property that I was living in that year, plus get a new rental to live in and to rent out. So that's my goal in real estate, and that's my goal on why I want around 10,000-15,000, so I can put that down. So that's my motivation. Find your motivation. If you want to say, hey, I want to not struggle no more, I want to have 10,000 in my bank account to not struggle no more, then then that's your motivation. Like do you really want to not struggle? People say that, and people think they really feel that way, but they don't make the sacrifices to change that. They just don't. So they make excuses on why they can't instead of asking why they can. And I'm saving $20,000 because I can. Like I said, I'm making $200 a day. When I start the budget, it's going to be about $150 profit a day. But I know a lot of people don't make that, and you don't have to make that. You don't have to save $55 a day. Like the previous video that I made on this channel, saving $28 a day is $10,000. If you can't do that, save half of that. Save $14 a day. You're telling me that you can't save $14 a day? You can't go grocery shopping for the week, so you have food for the week and don't have to eat out every day? I'm pretty sure one meal from Chipotle get you a burrito with some with a drink. That's $14. One meal from Chick-fil-A a day, you eating out one time, that's $14. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's $14-$15. How about you grocery shop? How about you budget to lower your expenses and save that and not eat out and eat healthier, so you can have you $5,000 in a year? You don't have to have $10,000 a year, $20,000 a year. You don't have to take these titles or these goals so literal. You can make your own goals. You can adjust to it. Think about where you were a year ago. Do you have around the same money that you had from a year ago? Because that's not good. That me answering that question, I would say yes. About what I have right now is about the same thing that I had last year. But if I didn't have, if I wasn't in debt, I would have like $5,000 in my savings. Or I would have between $3,000 and $5,000. I'm not sure the math for real, but I would have a couple thousand in my savings, and that would be different from last year. And that was only a few months of saving, 2-3 months of saving. And the only difference is the knowledge that I had, and then I just started saving. I started being disciplined. I started being consistent, and I'm able to take off about a third, almost close to 50% of my debt. And once the other piece of my debt is paid off, sorry, I'm driving. And if you live in Virginia, these people drive crazy. But if I'm able to, or when I'm able to pay off the debt, after that, then I'm just be stacking, and we'll see where we at the end of the year. But I know it's going to be over $10,000. Cause I'm saving $20,000, and my debt is not over $10,000. So I'm not sure where I was going with that. But yeah. But the next thing is that kind of goes with the point that I made before about planning ahead and see what your goals is. Invest your money. Now, like I said in the previous video, you can invest your money. I'll say the least risky investment, quote unquote, that you can do is putting it in a high yield savings account. It's where it's like 4 to 5% interest of your money being in there instead of 0 to 1% interest, and like it is in a regular bank or in a regular savings account. And just go back to the last video. I'll put it in the description of this video. Look into the description of that video and you'll see a link of bank accounts like SoFi, American Express, Capital One, those type of savings accounts that you can put in and get 4 to 5% interest. So that's like the least risky way. Another investment you can do that I'm also looking into, like I said, this is real time, so I haven't done this, but I'm looking into and I'm researching and looking up videos, is stocks and ETFs. I'm not sure what ETF specific name, but I know S&P 500. It's like VOO, like VOO, that you can go in and you can put your money in, and that's like the least risky of stocks because it's S&P 500. It just means that it's the 500 biggest companies in America. So say if one of them does bad or if one of them, fails, then you have 499 more companies that's holding up, the stocks. It's like putting your money into just like a big pool, and the pool is pretty much secure. Like, it's pretty much not gonna leak. It's pretty much not gonna run out of water. So it's only gonna, when it rains, it's only gonna kind of go higher. It may evaporate a little bit, but then it's gonna rain again. It's gonna go higher. It's not, you're not tying your money to one company or to one stock. So if that stock fails, then it's just down. It's more of a risk that way. So if you want to take a safe risk in the stocks, I say S&P 500. And I think the only difference between that and ETFs is just that ETFs pays out quarterly. So I think it pays out like every 3 months. And I would suggest that you just take those earnings and reinvest it back into the ETFs. So like I said, I haven't done it myself, but I'm definitely looking into doing that. Thanks for watching this video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe.